Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Mac Fitness, and in today's workout we did a racked curtsy lunge. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like and some things to be mindful of when you're doing a curtsy lunge. Rather than any other lunge squat, we are getting some slight little bending of the knee. The body's going in a different direction. So if we're not careful, this can be a way that you can easily hurt yourself or do some damage to the knee, which when we're hurt, we can't work out. So very important to follow the right steps in this lunge. You can do this curtsy lunge and don't be fooled by the name. We add some weight to that. It's a very powerful, it's a very beneficial exercise for the quads as well as the glutes, and also working in a multi-plane movement there as we're going from the sagittal plane, and then we're going into the frontal plane, and a little bit of rotation as well. So we're kind of working in all three planes of motion. So a very beneficial exercise. Now, when we do any sort of lunge, we always want to make sure that the force is going straight down and up. We never want the force to be going behind the knee. We never want the foot to be coming off the ground when we're doing so. I'm going to show this with dumbbells. You can do this body weight. You can do this with a resistance band. You can do this with a barbell. All right, anytime you're adding a load to the movement, make sure that you are maintaining proper form. That's why it's gonna be crucial, especially for this one here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the dumbbell set up. I keep them for this exercise. We had them right up here in this kind of front squat, dumbbell front squat position. You can bring them right up here at the shoulder, or you can also leave them down by the side, right? It's gonna depend on what you want to do with the movement. I want to work a little bit more of the core as well, so I'm going to keep them right up here in this front position. My feet are going to start, take a step back, my feet are going to start in a hip distance stance. So my feet are right in line with the hips, soft bend in the knees, right? We've got a strong core, right? Hips are in a neutral position. Dumbbells we bring up right in front, and I'm not resting them on my shoulder, I'm keeping them up in front of me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a step back. So I'm going to go, I'm working the left leg is going to be the working leg. I'm going to take my right leg back behind me. I'm going to hinge at the hip, bend at the knee, lower down, and then drive straight through that front leg, coming back to the start position. Today we went all on one side before going then to that opposite side, taking that step back, crossing the midline of the body, dropping the back knee down, driving through that front leg, coming back to the start position. Very important here, as in with any squat, any lunge, any lower body movement, we want to be mindful of where the body is. We're going to take that step back. As I take that step back, notice the leg is behind me. My hips are open slightly. I'm not squared up, but I'm also not fully rotated through here, right? So I've got a slight rotation in the hips. I hinge and then bend the knee. As I come down, the knee does track out a little bit in front of the toes, but what is vitally important is keeping that knee, as always, tracking over the second and third toe, right? We don't want the knee to go in the valgus, and we certainly don't want to come out risking injury to the ligaments. So it's crucial with the curtsy lunge to make sure that you use in proper form. As with anything, before adding weights, it's always a good practice to just do it without any weight, without any load, just simply your body weight. Drive through that front leg, bringing it back to that start position. If you have trouble with balance, you can use a PVC pipe that we have here. You can use TRXs. You can also use anything. You can use a wall just to provide you with a little balance. I always recommend just a light touch of the fingers, unless you really need the work with the balance. And if that's the case, I would stick with either some squats or lunges before working into this here curtsy lunge. So again, one more time from the ground up, feet are hip distance apart. You've got a soft bend in the knees. You're bringing that hips into a neutral position. Core is tight, chest is up, shoulders are back. We're going to take that step back. We're going to cross the right leg across the midline. I'm going to drop the back knee down to the ground, keeping this knee right in line with the toes. I go down, knee just touches the ground, come back to that start. And then if you're going to alternate, you can take that opposite step back, keep the knee in a good position right through here, drive through that front leg, and coming back to the top. Before, again, also do this with weight, without weight. A number of ways to do this. Very important. Make sure those key points you're using, right? Foot stays flat on the ground. Heel stays flat on the ground. We never go under the ball of the foot, right? We start with a neutral position of the feet as well as the hips. And we make sure, vitally important, that knee tracks all the way, all times, over second and third toe to keep your knees in a healthy position, guys. That's what we have for you today with the curtsy lunge. Any moves you want to see, any exercises you'd like us to do, feel free, drop them in the comment section. Or you can also email us at matt@macfitness100.com. We're glad to help you out. As I say always, guys, live your life in abundance. And until I see you in another video, peace and love.